just sign right there for me?
Hey guys, it's Boss Belle and I'm back with another video. I know it's been a very long time since the last time that I've been on camera and done anything like this, but yeah, I was just kind of transitioning and getting my bearings together. So today I'm here with my buying my first home video, which is super highly requested and everybody's been DMing me. So I just want to say thank you to anyone who's reached out to me throughout this process, and I'm just gonna get into the facts quickly because I don't think we need a long intro here. So I'll be referencing my laptop, which is to my right, so if I'm looking over, that's what I'm doing. So let's get started. So I kind of just broke it down into like different steps or processes that I thought were important and what I wanted to talk about. So I'm starting off with finding my realtor because this is a really important step. And I found my realtor because I was on Instagram. She's super bomb. I'm gonna tag her name maybe up here or down here, I don't know yet, but yeah, her name's Kiana and she was really helpful and amazing throughout the process. So I found mine on Instagram, and then I just had some suggestions on how you can find one. And one was word of mouth, and why that's really important is because you do want references. Although I didn't have a specific reference to Kiana, she had so much clientele that it kind of like spoke for itself. So her reviews were the references that I use personally, but yeah. And I would say what's really important is to research what you're specifically looking for within a realtor, so that you know who you're matching up with and why you're matching up with them. What type of experience with what type of homes do they have and what areas. Those are just important things that you may want to consider. And you have to choose someone within your state, I'm pretty sure, where you want to purchase. So, okay, moving forward. So something that I had to do early on in the earlier stages was like assessing my budget and areas of appreciating value. So why I thought this was really important was because if you're gonna meet with your realtor early, you know, you kind of want to have a budget to bring to them so that you guys can kind of put a plan in place so that moving forward, you know what type of communities you'll be going to look at, you know what you'll be looking for specifically within the home. So for me, figuring out a budget was crucial because I wasn't gonna go to her like, you know, hey, I want this type of home and I just couldn't afford it. We didn't waste our time. So understanding you need a down payment and closing costs are the two things that you really want to have money set aside. So research how to understand the real estate market in your area, and why this is so important is because you just don't want to buy a house to buy a house unless you plan on living in that house for the rest of your life, and it doesn't really matter where it's at. You don't plan on moving, your kids are going to grow up there. It's just very crucial that you are purchasing a home in an area that is appreciating in value. You know, you don't want to fall into a situation where your home does not reach equity, things in the neighborhood don't really turn out the way they're expected to grow, and then you lose money in some way. So that's not a positive investment, and I look at this whole process as an investment. So it solely can be just what you look at it as, but that's how I look at it. So that also is the basis for me making a lot of my decisions, is how am I making a smart investment and what is the best, you know, deal on the table for me to make the investment that I'm interested in making. There's things you may want in a neighborhood, you know. Do you want a gated community? Do you want somewhere where you are solely like gonna be able to invest in that property? Are you looking to buy an Airbnb property? You know, figure out what it is that you're trying to achieve with that property. And I think once you meet with your realtor, that first conversation can go a lot smoother because you'll have an idea for what you're actually kind of contacting them and looking for. So next up was saving for the down payment and closing. So a lot of people always ask, like, how do you save money to you know, buy a home this young. Like, how do you save money? How do you allocate? Like, I have student debt, I have this, I have that. And at the end of the day, you know, everyone's situation is different, but it comes down to discipline and understanding that there are some things you might have to sacrifice and not do or not buy or not go, so that you can save and do the things you want to do. That's also why it's great to identify earlier than later your budget and what you want to do and how quickly you want to get there, so you know how much you want to be saving month to month or check to check, however you save. Me personally, I save everything that, any amount of money I get, I save some of it, no matter what. So that's just always been me, and I've been saving since I left college. Yeah, I also paid off my student debt, so I don't have a student debt. So yeah, how much do you need though? So how much you need, I would say you need at least 10% to 15% if it's your first home. But actually I'd probably say 10 to 20% if it's your first home, and then I'll go into why I say 10 to 20 in such a large range. But yeah, I think that's a good range to go into. And that funnels into the type of loan that I decided to get. So I decided to get an FHA loan. So I was a first-time home buyer. So if your credit score is over 580, you are eligible for putting only 3.5% down, which is what I opted to do for this. The purchase of this home was to only put down 3.5%. I could have put down 20, which is typical, but I didn't feel the need to, you know, max out my cash into all of this investment when I don't have to do that. It just depends on if you're someone who likes to, you know, yield returns. I guess, like, if you want something compounded cheaper, then it would be best to put down 20%. But if you're thinking about your initial cash flow and what you want to do to diversify that into different investments, I think that you can make the decision to put 3.5 here and more into other places. So yeah, the reason I say 10 to 20%, so although it costs 3.5 to put down, there was still a lot of other costs associated with my move, appliances, like I had to get a fridge, I had to get a washer and dryer. So that's why I say you should have more allocated than what you're actually putting down. So with me, I would say I had about 10% of my purchase price set aside for me to be able to get everything in here, upgrade certain things within the home to what I wanted, and still stay within my budget and location. So after you kind of get pre-approved for your loan, then you go into the home buying process. So you have a loan approval, which takes place, because this was a new build for me, it took place for 8 months, and 3 weeks before my closing, I officially got the clear to close the week before closing. Like, that's how long it took before I actually got finally approved for the loan. So yeah, that's cool. So you pretty much have your loan approval, then you have a whole bunch of contracts that you're signing with your broker, and the broker that I choose was through my community that I came in. I took a buy-in special where they covered my closing costs. They gave me $2,800 towards design costs, and I was able to put 3.5 down. So you guys can pretty much do the math. My house looks great. I guess if you guys want some type of house tour once I'm fully decorated, if you drop comments below and subscribe, and I get, you know, more subscribers then I'll do a house tour if you guys really want to see what it looks like. But I basically have a townhouse that's around 2,000 square feet, about 15 minutes outside of the city of Atlanta, around like Midtown area. And in total, this whole process only cost me $12,500. So yeah, can you believe that? And my mortgage is only going to be about $100 more than what I was paying in rent. So for me, this was the best option. I can rent hack here, so I can Airbnb like my bottom level, and I'll still have this level and my whole master suite upstairs. So the layout just was perfect for me, and that's what helped me choose it. So things that are different with this house, I would say, is that there are a lot more responsibilities now that I have a home that I didn't have to deal with renting. And some of those things that I can mention are having a HOA fee, which is a homeowners association fee every month on top of my rent. I also have security, sanitation, property taxes now. And so also when you get an FHA loan, if you are a first-time home buyer and you choose to put down 3.5%, you will have to opt in to paying a monthly mortgage insurance. And that's around like almost $180 to $200 for me. So the only way that payment can go away is if I refinance my loan and my house has reached 20% equity, or I've paid off 20% equity on my own. So either way it goes, I can refinance and almost $200 will come off. I preferred that just because, like I said, I didn't want to like use so much liquid cash into one investment. So that worked best for me. So I'm gonna attach a short clip of what closing day was actually like, just a glimpse, and you'll see my realtor. And if you stay tuned at the end, you can see some glimpses of my house as well. Just short clips so you can see kind of the finishes that I chose and what I actually put into my house. But
hi you guys, my name is Kiana Watson. I am a realtor here in the Metro Atlanta area. And today is closing day for my client. You see how we matching? How we matching?
we had to keep it cordial.
Really, I just wanted to get on here and just say congratulations to her. She's going to talk about her process, and I want her to be truthful. Either way, though, I know I'm the boss, so I'm not worried about what she's going to tell y'all.
She is.
But I definitely want her to be truthful about the process. I'm so excited. She is a beautiful young millennial, and it just warms my heart every single time I can help these young ladies, especially young ladies, because when I was younger, you know, I was not into the buying house thing. I was into the spending other people's money thing, and that's not cool. You know, that's not cool. And actually, I just love that women are bossing up and bossing up early. You know, I learned a little later. You know, I found a husband, got married, and all that. And then I started to become more fiscally responsible. But if I would have started at her age, who knows like where I would be. So I'm just really wanted to tell you guys, like, I know she's going to post this video, you gotta watch it, but she is a real client and she worked so hard to make this happen. I'm extremely happy for her, and she's just like you guys don't even know, like, I don't even know if she talk about her real job on here, but like for her to be like a tech nerd and then look like a boss babe, then right here she looks like a Sports Illustrated bikini model. I'm just like so proud of her, and it just shows that we are multifaceted, that we can have it all as women. So congratulations again, Kayla.
Thank you. And I want to say how amazing you have been, how you made this process endless and seamless for me this whole time. And I just can't believe we are here, starting with the DM, slid in the DMs now.
Oh, that's how she found me.
It just all came together, but it's been an amazing process. And if you are in the Atlanta area, you should definitely hit up Kiana to handle all of your real estate needs.
Kiana Watson. I'm sure she's going to put my website at the bottom, right there. You know, catch me on the gram. I'm not a boring agent. You'll see a little something, a little this, a little that, but a lot of sales.
Yes. So, but yeah, no, thank you so much.
You're
Kiana.
very welcome.
All right. It's been great. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you back soon.